The Indian Motorcycle Riders Group of Oklahoma City, Chapter 1966. Our sponsor is Scott Conway, and our president is Rich Kincaid.
This video shows you how to fine-tune your ride command navigation system by editing the GPX file that the system creates when you input a trip. It sounds complicated, but it's really easy when you follow a few simple steps. First, you must have plotted your route, identifying your gas stops, lunch stops, and end-of-day destination. Most people use Google Maps or some other trip planner. Also, you need to be familiar with inputting a multiple stop route in your navigation system. Indian has a good how-to video available on their site. You'll need a computer that has text editor installed, which is easy to get. You can download it if you don't already have it. I also call up whatsmygps.com. 6-day trip, and this example will cover creating the GPX file for day 1. To create the files for day 2 through 6, simply follow the same procedure. Our trip takes us from Indian Motorcycle of Oklahoma City to the New Orleans French Quarter and back. For day 1, our planned end-of-day destination is the Hampton Inn located at 1005 Gould Drive in Bossier City, Louisiana. We want to take the most direct or the easiest route, stop for gas and comfort a little early, gas and lunch in Paris, Texas, and an afternoon gas and comfort stop, as well as a break in the historic old town of Jefferson, Texas. Since we have multiple riders on the trip, to save time and ensure good service, we've identified the gas stations and lunch spot in advance so we can program them into the GPX file. So our stops are going to be in Ada, Oklahoma at the Chickasaw Travel Stop, Paris, Texas at the Love's Travel Stop, Roadhouse Family Diner in Paris, Texas, and in Jefferson, Texas we'll stop at the Shell Station to gas up, and then we'll visit the Old Town, and then the Hampton Inn in Bossier City, Louisiana. The first thing I'm going to do is go to the bike and plug in the flash drive. Since this is going to take more than a couple of minutes, I'm going to override the automatic power down. So at this point, I'm going to go into the navigation system and I'm going to enter the 7 stops that we've identified, but I'm going to enter each one of them as city center, and then we'll update the GPX file on the computer. And here's how we'll go about doing that. First, we'll set the system to Oklahoma and type in Oklahoma City. Once you get enough typed in, the system will identify what city you're typing in. All you have to do is hit City Center and then move on to the next one. Which will be Ada, and again we'll hit City Center. After Ada, Paris, Texas. We'll have to change the navigation system from Oklahoma to Texas and then type in Paris. And we're going to do that twice. We went 2 city centers, remember, because we're going to have the gas stop and we're going to have a lunch stop in Paris. After Paris, we'll type in Jefferson, and we want to do the same thing with Jefferson. We've got 2 stops there. So we'll type in Jefferson, go to City Center, and then do that again. And then the last stop of the day, I have to change our navigation system to Louisiana. Type in Bossier City and City Center again, and then we're done. Now, after you've entered Bossier City, City Center, press the save function, and the trip will be saved. Or the last stop you key in will be the name of the file, in this case Bossier City. So now let's call it up and let's see if it's the route that we want. We'll zoom out and take a look at the route, and that looks good. That is the route we want. Now we'll end the route and go to the saved file so we can export the GPX file. Now then we just go to the import export function and export Bossier City to our flash drive. Now we remove the flash drive and head inside to the computer. Click on the file and you'll see the GPX file come up on your screen. At this point, I also call up whatsmygps.com. And I get both of them on my screen at the same time, so I can go to whatsmygps.com, find the right GPS location, which is longitude and latitude, and then just simply move over to the GPX file, update the latitude and longitude, and the name of the stop. To update the GPX file, we're going to need the original addresses we used when we set up our route in Google Maps. And then type in the address that we used in Google Maps for Oklahoma City. Then press Find this location. To navigate the map on whatsmygps.com, you can roll your roller forward and it'll zoom in. You can move your map around by pressing on the left mouse button. And with that, then we can also just grab the indicator and move it to where you want the navigation system to take you. Notice in this case, it takes you to the center of the building where Indian of Oklahoma City is located. But we want to go to the parking lot. So we're going to have the GPS system take us right to the parking lot. So we'll move the cursor over to the parking lot. Notice that it updates the latitude and the longitude. Now those are the numbers we're going to use in updating the GPX file. Now the GPX file only uses 6 digits after the decimal point. So we'll cut it off after 6 digits past the decimal. Now let's go to the GPX file and update the latitude and longitude for Indian Motorcycle of Oklahoma City. Okay, it's very important not to add any spaces anywhere, any backspaces. Only change the name, the latitude, and the longitude. Do not change anything else. After you've changed the latitude and the longitude, then update the name. So here we'll just add Indian and a comma and a space. Now we'll go back to whatsmygps.com and we'll go through the same exercise for the gas station in Ada. Now here's a good example of why this is a worthwhile exercise, because you notice once we enter the address, it takes us to the building close to the gas station, but not the gas station. So what we'll do, we'll drag the indicator over to the awning that's over the gas pumps, and you notice when we do that, it updates the latitude and longitude. Now we'll go over to the GPX file and update the latitude and the longitude and the name in the GPX file. I'm not going to update the remaining 5 stops in this example because it's just the same as what we've done for the Oklahoma City stop and for the Ada stop. You just do the same thing all the way through. I've followed the same procedure for the 2 stops in Paris, Texas, the 2 stops in Jefferson, all the way to the hotel in Bossier City. Updating the latitude and longitude as well as the name of each stop. When you're done, then you save it to the flash drive and then eject the flash drive from the computer and take it back to your bike. Back at the Indian, we import the adjusted Bossier City file. Okay, now go to your Save Files, highlight the Bossier City file, and calculate your route. You'll see on the left the names that we input when we updated the latitude and longitude. Your file is working, so there was no spaces or backspaces put into the GPX file that were not intentional. Now we can cancel out of the route, and we can go back to the Save Files and change the name of Bossier City to Day 1 of the New Orleans trip. With this done, now we can export the Day 1 New Orleans trip back to the flash drive and take that flash drive out and then take it to each of your other bikers that are riding with you and import it into their navigation system so everybody will have the same route for Day 1. Days 2 through 6 are done in exactly the same manner that we did Day 1.
I catty cat. That means that you go somewhere, just do it.